Favorite mask I've ever worn in my career is this Rochester Americans mask. I didn't get to pick the design, so I was really surprised and pleasantly surprised when it came back to me in Rochester. A U.S. flag, obviously the Rochester Americans, the logo is so iconic. When I was with the New York Rangers, I duplicated the Rochester Americans style and paint job, and I just put a New York Rangers logo on it.
That I learned, it has to be probably this one right here. Here we got the Corpy here. That's what I always had on my jaw part of the mask. So it's pretty cool here. Then obviously all the golden part of it's the Roman helmet, as you would probably say, identical on both sides. So we got the Martian here just peeking beyond it.
My Florida Panther mask, actually, the way I feel today, because that was my first NHL mask as well. It was pretty sweet with the Panther, the original, because those were their best looks, by the way. The palm trees on the side, it just had a bunch of swag.
I got the Edmonton skyline right on the chin, and then I always like having the Oilers logo on one side and then something unique on the other, and we just decided to go for the oil drill, just being an Edmonton boy.
In St. Louis, I had a mask where my designer, I had the St. Louis arch right above my eyes, and I had the Kiss guys from the band Kiss standing on top of it. I always had Kiss early on in my career on my mask, and this was a very unique one.
One of the most intimidating masks that I found over my career was Curtis Joseph, Cujo, right? Because there was a story behind it. That crazy dog, right, from the book. And Curtis Joseph's initials were fitting perfectly. So when you saw the mask and you saw the dog, you almost could feel the rage and the rabies or whatever, the craziness that came through with the dog. And I felt it very intimidating just to look at.
Olaf Kolzig from the Washington Capitals. Now, he was a mountain of a man, about 6'4", 6'5". He could handle himself physically, and he was nicknamed Godzilla. So he had Godzilla on his mask. To me, that was intimidating, not only playing against the player, because he was a fantastic goaltender, but his mask was a little bit scary as well. I remember seeing one on Wayne Thomas. Now, Wayne Thomas was a legendary coach. He played the National Hockey League for many years, but he had this weird, I don't even know what was on it. It looked like an apple. There was like an apple, I think, on it, and then some different colorings. I'm not even sure what team that belonged to, but I remember seeing that come across my desk sometime and going, that is one of the ugliest things I've seen in a long time.
We might have to call you Cup of Noodles. Are you serious? This is one of the most iconic masks ever. Wayne Thomas's New York Rangers Big Apple. Are you nuts, Noodles? That's exactly why I put a Big Apple on my Rangers mask on my first year in New York. But this is absolutely iconic. I would pay to wear that. I would wear that up and down Fifth Avenue.
I remember Steve Shields with the Boston Bruins. He tried to do a Jerry Cheevers copy on his mask, but then on the side of his mask, ears were painted on it. I'm like, I don't want to see ears painted on a mask ever. Like, the ears are covered. I don't want to see nobody's ears. Sorry, Shieldsy. I don't think that the overall mask is ugly, but I don't like the ears on the mask. So no, that's a no for me. My favorite overall mask of all time. This is maybe a surprise because it was a simple mask, but man, did I love this goalie and I love this mask. It was Felix Potvin, the cat. I thought it was fantastic. I must have drawn this mask on a piece of paper, on a cardboard. I even tried to paint an old mask the way that Felix had his back in the days with the Toronto Maple Leafs.
I like the Hasek ones and the Artis Irbe and the pretty much the player bucket and a little cage on it. That's those were the masks I used playing street hockey growing up.
Obviously, you know the Finnish goalies. I think Kiprusoff's mask with the flames and everything. I think that was for sure the every Finnish little goalie's dream mask.
I mean, I loved Dwayne Rolison's mask. I loved how he had the gold cage too. I wish I could do that. I don't quite have the swagger that he has in the sense of getting a gold cage.
I've got two of them, but it's going to be Ken Dryden, just a very, very simple form-fitted mask. He had the rings on it, Montreal Canadiens colors. I would say a 1A was Jerry Cheevers' mask, just with the stitches. Wherever he got hit, he put the black marking where he probably would have gotten stitches. I thought that was very unique, and obviously growing up, watching the Habs and the Bruins battle it out in the playoffs every year. So those were the two masks that I really loved from afar.